Concentrate.
Bike trials, that's like that, isn't it? But like on a trial course. What does bike trials involve? It's like obstacles and stuff.
Bike trials. A trial with a bike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like jumps in a row that like bikers do.
Do I know what bike trials is?
Hopping on your back wheel, hopping on your front wheel.
He does.
It's like big obstacles on push bikes and jumping off things onto others.
Trials? Trials like yeah.
Jumping up onto ledges, balance, lots of balance. That's pretty much it.
Trials bike? Yeah, it depends what kind. Dirt jumping or... How would you explain that?
I don't know, like a smaller version of a BMX.
Do you know what a trials bike is? What?
Extreme sports fans at the National Adventure Sports Show were asked if they had ever heard of bike trials and if they could explain what it actually involved. Starting in Spain during the 1970s, motorcycle trials riders used to practice on mountain bikes as a form of cross-training. Some riders found this to be very different to riding a motorbike, and gradually bicycle trials turned into a sport of its own. The main premise of the sport is to manoeuvre a bicycle over differing terrain whilst getting up, on or over obstacles that could be natural or man-made. Riders must do this while limiting the number of times they have to put their feet down. John Shrewsbury is a well-respected UK rider, blending trials and BMX into his own unique and innovative street style.
I'm the kind of person that likes to find weird and interesting stuff, so when I find it, I kind of go, right, what can I do? And like I try and think up different moves and tricks and stuff. And once I find it, I feel, you know, sometimes I find something really scary. I'll put my helmet on, my gloves, and just go for it for the first time. If I get it on film as well, it's like other people can see it.
Jack Meek is a long-term street and natural trials rider who's built his own practice area to avoid confrontation with security and police.
Bike trials has given me a sport that I really enjoy and it keeps me fit. Also self-achievement for stuff I've learnt over the years off my own back. And I've met many friends through riding. I have actually built this place, and it's also so I'm on my own and I can focus, and sometimes I have a few friends over and you can feed off each other and push each other, and you learn a lot more in this sort of terrain because it's a lot more technical, and it's an area which I feel I lack, is the technical side of my riding, and I want to push it much further than what it is at the moment. Okay, well, welcome to this spot where I ride, and I've been making it, you know, with my own hands, so it's, you know, it's what I want, and I can make all these complicated shapes. Now, it's an old tip site, which gives me obstacles and, you know, heavy blocks, and I've made shapes and angles for very technical riding, and here I'm just digging out this section where I'm gonna, you know, place the bike with the back wheel here and the front wheel on here, and from this spot in one move I can get up onto that and avoid this, you know, this challenge here. And it doesn't stop there. Once I get here, I have to work my way, and I've got a small object and up onto here with slippy logs. And the more I ride it, the more I understand where my bike is and where I want it.
Max Hunt has been riding for only 2 years, representing the newer generation of riders, learning from the vast expanse of media available through the internet.
My name's Max Hunt, and I've been riding for 2.5 years, and I'm 17 years old at the moment, and I ride street mainly. The banter, yeah, I like it for the riding, but I like it for the socialising as well. I like going to a spot and then coming back to a spot, say, you know, a month later or something, having tried something the first time and not being able to do it, and then coming back to it and being able to do it. I like the sort of sense of achievement and like progression.
Martin Ashton is a previous world expert champion, innovative street rider, and known for helping to get trials where it is today. He makes a living from performing bike trial demonstrations at many different events.
Hi, I'm Martin Ashton. I ride for the Animal Relentless Bike Tour. I'm a professional rider for a long time, 15 years, and I ride for Team Ashton Diamondback. On my bike, my practice routine is, I don't really have a routine, I'm honestly speaking. I train really hard now because I'm one of the older guys, and I have to train really hard to keep up with even close to the younger guys. When you're in the show, the sort of mentality is it's a really strange situation because you've got people who are whipped into a little bit of a frenzy, and it's almost a false atmosphere. You've got them into this, it's a little bit of theatre, and you've got to play a role in that show, you know, you've got to be the part of the entertainer, and that means you've got to be enjoying yourself. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes to get into it, but you've got to get there, or else it's not going to be an enjoyable show for the people who are watching. So I'm aiming to kind of focus on, wow, look, you know, guys, it's good fun, and I'm having, you know, just relax and start riding. I still get nervous at the start, which is good. I think the day I don't get nervous at the start of the show, it's time to call it a day, because then you don't care. You know? But when you're, you know, mid-trick, you're just thinking, just get it right, try and make it look nice, because there could be some riders in the crowd watching, and you want to do, you know, something that they'd appreciate and think, oh yeah, okay, it's not too bad, you know, and just sort of try and appeal to everyone who's watching.
Good job, Martin.
Okay, what you know as a mountain bike has been adapted for trials. Trials frames are now specifically much smaller than your average bike. If you can see, this is, well, would be the seat tube on a mountain bike, but there's no seat here. They've squashed it together, welded it to create a lot of clearance in between here for big moves where you need to have that position when you're on your bike. Get it into places. For these harsh angles and edges that you land on, you need sharp brakes, really sharp brakes. So we've got hydraulic pressure coming through on this style of brake onto the back rim. Most commonly used rather than disc because you get a bit of flex in the spokes. But the pressure that goes into that rim is like threefold compared to a normal brake. Ordinary pair of like riser bars made from alloy to keep the weight down. But there's one thing about these bars is they're wider than normal to give you a different style of steering. Magnesium pedals, which is a light metal with a alloy axle and pins coming out, which then dig into your shoes and hold for maximum grip. With the big back tyre, the resistance of hitting sharp edges and also getting grip and lifting off and having it on not a low PSI, but 26 PSI to 30 PSI, like a normal mountain bike, but when you see it on an edge, it looks like it's flat, but it's not. It's just because all your weight's in one place. They can get extremely light, but they average out because you want to keep the strength so that nothing breaks while riding. But also they've been able to take out the holes inside the rim to create a much lighter front end. It's key in trials these days, if you're running a wide tyre like this, that you want to be having a wide rim, because if you had a small rim, wide tyre, you'll get severe tyre roll when you drop off something onto some sort of funny angle, or if you're trying to take off from a funny angle. So having both means you're squared off a bit more, but you've also got a bit of bounce, you've got loads of grip, and you've got high impact that can be taken from doing large drops or landing on like sharp objects.
Why don't you talk to me?
When it comes to trials bikes, when you need someone who knows what they're talking about, you'd go to www.tightybikes.co.uk and have a check out their site. It's got technical advice and it's also got sales, which will then direct you in the right path for the thing you want for your style of riding. This bike's been customised for a trials rider. He's picked out the parts he needs and it's roughly around the £1,000 mark. It's a high-end spec, but if you want to ride trials, it starts around the £250 mark.
So if you're interested in getting into it, into bike trials and trying it out, or any sport, I mean, I guess the way to do it is start doing it outside your house, just get on with it. But then hit up all the obvious things on the internet, because that is just such an amazing learning source these days. Go on the forums, everybody, I mean, there's the odd kid who's got an opinion on forums that's pretty severe, but they probably had a can of Coke too many that day and they don't really mean it. So go on the forums, talk to the people, they're all bloody nice people, and they will be desperate to come and ride with you or get you to come and ride with them, so they can show you all their bloody good tricks and make you feel rubbish. But you'll learn so much from them people and you'll progress. And just get involved in the sport. You know, doing it on your own is great, you'll learn, but the increase in what you're capable of when you see other people doing the sport is amazing. So just get on the websites and meet people that are doing the same thing as you.
No matter what bike, the basics of trials can be seen everywhere, whether hopping off a curb or balancing along a railing. Saddle or no saddle, bike trials is here to stay.